Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and we have gathered here once again today, and we are going to talk Star Wars. Yes, Star Wars, and we're going back to the original trilogy, but the final film, and this is Return of the Jedi. So let's jump straight into it, and let's go with Susan, since she's unmuted herself. What do you make of this film, Susan?
All right, the force is strong with this cast. I assure you. I enjoy Star Wars. I love Star Wars movies. I think that they are doing a really bad job because they're not actually marketing Star Wars movies right. When I first saw Star Wars, it was like completely new. But then when I saw Empire Strikes Back, they sold me lots of toys before they showed me the movie. And then, Return of the Jedi came out in 1983, and I had started into high school, and I was, I had a bunch of Star Wars toys, even as a high school kid. And one of those toys, was a little R2-D2 that I liked, that I kept. And I really enjoyed the movie back in 1983. And I really enjoy the movie now. It was delightful to see it again. And I'm really glad Geeks Assembled is so amazingly geeky. That's us. It's so great. Anyway, here's Alex.
Yeah, I do like the movie. I do like the original trilogy. And I remember the 70s to the early and middle 80s. And even though I'm glad of Rogue One and the last 15 minutes of The Last Jedi, I think Disney isn't doing that great a job with the movies. I actually enjoyed the original George Lucas movies. The prequels, no, I did not like. So... but it is a good movie. It is a good romp. They pretty much cover almost all the conflicts that were in the original movies. Star Wars: A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, which was originally Revenge of the Jedi. And I do enjoy the movie, and I enjoyed it when I saw it the other day. So hopefully they will improve it. And I don't like the special edition. I like the original editions before the 90s. Okay.
And let's go from the sofa of love. Let's go to Scotland with Graham. Go ahead, Graham.
Well, where do you begin with this? So this was this period back in the early 80s where you were waiting 2.5 years to find out what happened to a guy encased in carbonite. Well, little did you know there was some dubiety as to whether that said character was coming back. Harrison Ford wanted his fate of episode 7 to happen in episode 5. He ended up coming back, and hence you've got Lando Calrissian shoehorned in here as somewhat of a bit part player towards the end, so much so that he's wearing Han's clothes when he's sitting on the Millennium Falcon with Chewie. Go figure. But overall, how did this movie go in terms of wrapping up the original trilogy? Back in the day, I loved this. In the bygone days of yore, this was brilliant. The Ewoks were cute. The battle in the forest with the Empire machine was brilliant. The showdown with Palpatine, Darth, and Luke was phenomenal. You had obviously the resolution with Han and Leia, and the revelation that, oh my God, he kissed his sister back in the day. But that notwithstanding, as you grow a wee bit older, you do notice a few wee flaws. The Ewoks were annoying as hell as you get older. Warwick Davis, no aside, you can't really hate on Warwick Davis too much. He was what? How old when this thing came out? I mean, must have been a tyke. But in terms
he was 19.
19. Well, there you go. He wasn't even 20 yet, so we'll cut him some slack there. I thought he was actually younger than that because Willow was after this, but go figure. The whole completion of the training for Luke, and then the confrontation with Vader, and then the resolution at the end where Vader sees the light and throws the Emperor down the old chute. Decent. noble sacrifice at the end. I tend to agree with Alex, though. I could name with the special editions when Hayden Christensen shows up as a Force ghost at the end. Made me want to vomit. But other than that, it's a decent end to a decent original trilogy, and more to come later.
Or the singing CGI creatures.
You know what? I can give them a part. I did prefer the hand puppets and the original things, but the CGI creatures were the least of the worries in that movie. It was the Ewoks that pissed me off as I got older, and yeah, it was Hayden Christensen. Blah. Yeah.
And Brian's shaking his head. What's the matter, Brian? Unless you're just randomly shaking your head.
I like the Ewoks.
They're furry creatures in a forest. What they did in an intergalactic space battle. They wanted to eat the frickin' robot until started translating his native language. It's kid friendly. It's cute for the 80s. It's great for the kids, but as you get older, they deteriorate a wee bit. That's what I'm saying.
Go on, Brian. Give us your thoughts on this film.
Oh, you're heading to me now?
Yep. Well, you're the only Brian in this group.
No,
unless somebody else is renamed.
We talk on the wall behind you.
What? I'm just kidding. No. Return of the Jedi. I got all 3 of the trilogy on Blu-ray. I love Blu-ray. But I think this is my favorite out of the Star Wars original trilogy. Most people think that. Most people like Empire Strikes Back as a favorite of the original trilogy, but not me. I like the Return of the Jedi as my favorite within the trilogy. From start to finish, I absolutely enjoy from when they start out saving Han down on the planet with the whole rescue mission to the very end, the whole parade celebrating it that they will finally beat the Emperor and Darth Vader and win the war. I absolutely love and enjoy every single minute of this film. And the Ewoks, I don't care what Graham says, I absolutely love the Ewoks. They're cute, adorable, and funny all at the same time. In fact, they remind me of my dog, Holly.
Well, you must have missed that god-awful Ewoks animated series that shot to follow this movie.
They had an animated series. I must check that out. And
go watch the holiday special, will you?
I knew somebody was going to bring that up. Kevin.
The holiday special has got nothing to do with that. Shut up, Dutchman.
I haven't seen the holiday special, so I'm
still trying to forget
that later as well. But with the Hayden Christensen Force Ghost as at the end, I didn't mind. It looked a bit weird, but I didn't mind because due to the Blu-ray and all special editions that they have of Return of the Jedi, that's what they have. I know that there's the original theatrical cut of a other actor playing older Anakin, but what are you gonna do? I just love this movie. That's all I have to say. My favorite out of the trilogy, and I love it.
Can I just say though, Brian, they didn't win the war. They didn't win the war because if you watch The Force Awakens, they didn't win.
Well, no
Let's
shit.
go over to Ethan. If they'd won the war, it'd end. Finish.
Yeah, I love this film, and I've seen this like tons and tons of times. This is my Star Wars, the proper Star Wars trilogy. And I didn't watch the remastered. I did watch the original. I prefer the original. I can't watch the remake with Hayden Christensen, whatever his name is, at the end. No, that's not Anakin. To me, Sebastian Shaw is Anakin. That's more of a father figure. But besides that, I love the film just from Luke, who's just gone from how he was in the first one to a badass in this one. He's just a full-on Jedi. Of course, this was back in the day. We had to wait for, like, is Darth Vader actually his dad? Was he just making it up just to trick him? And of course, we got our answer. He is his dad. And we saw Han come back. We finally saw the Emperor, who was just a creepy villain, played by Ian McDiarmid in his 30s, I might add, because it was just makeup to make him look old. The Ewoks. It's just a bunch of teddy bears that beat the Empire. That's pretty much it. I find that funny. I mean, they do get annoying. The older you get, you go, oh, God. But I don't mind them. I've seen worse. I do like this film. I've always loved this film. It's just a very good ending to a great trilogy, the true Star Wars trilogy. And I remember when I first watched it as a kid in the 80s, I've still got the original 1984 VHS, I think. 1984 VHS up the attic. And yeah, I remember the hype we all got for, like, when Darth Vader finally takes his mask off, what does he look like? Little egg-shaped head. But it's a very good film. It's a very, very adventurous, good fun, all-around movie. And a lot of emotion. I mean, I still, I remember getting emotional when Yoda dies, when Darth Vader dies. He finally becomes his dad again, Anakin, and just, dies. The fight with the Emperor and Vader at the end, great. The graphics, the effects still hold up. I mean, they are old, you can still tell, but they're still great fun to watch. But apart from that, I think I can only say it's just a great film. It is a great film. I've loved this film. I've seen it multiple times. Everything about it is just gold.
Especially that bikini.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Every boy back in the 80s, we were just all drooped.
Yes, thank you, Ethan. We don't need to know anymore. Just cut it there before you get...
let's cut it there. Remember, she's no longer with, man. Let's,
Let's go to Lee and his pussy. Go on, Lee.
Oh, dear. Yeah. Well, what can I say? Watching this film again, we've done the first two trilogy. It does, when watching this, it makes me look at the other sequels and prequels, and I think these original trilogies, you can't beat them. I mean, they should have left them at just these three, to be honest. Stop and don't anymore, because you just can't best these. All the prosthetics, the animatronics, I just love all that. I mean, the scene in Jabba's palace, and that is just so well done. I mean, how many people was in Jabba? There was, about 4 or 5 people working Jabba the Hutt. Just amazing now, the imagination and the time and effort what was put into making these movies. I mean, not saying I'm not dissing all these people what do CGI, because that's technical as well. But for me, I like this sort of film. It's a film about where simplicity beats technology. I agree with Graham about the Ewoks, but what can you do? You had to drag the youngsters into the movie theatres, and George Lucas thought, we'll do the Ewoks. I mean, he had the Jawas in the first episode, sort of same sort of thing. But it's a good movie. I wouldn't say it's my favourite of the trilogy, but it's up there. The space fight, with the Death Star, sort of similar to what happened in A New Hope, and the Battle of Endor with the Ewoks and all the troopers is brilliantly done, and the speedster race through the trees that is just so well done with Luke and Leia. But, it's a good movie. It's fun to watch. As you say, it does have its flaws here and there, but doesn't every movie. So that's my opening thought.
I denounce the Nub Nub song.
Let's go to Beef Dad. See what Beef Dad thinks. Have you seen this film before, Beef Dad?
Yeah, I saw it when it first came out. In fact, I took my son to see it. Young beef person. Yeah, excellent film. It's a brilliant story, brilliantly told. I don't care what Graham or Lee say. Doesn't matter about getting older. The Ewoks are still a piece of cinema magic. They are wonderful. They are fun. They are brave. I love the Ewoks. The Ewoks really made this film for me. That and seeing Jeremy. Because Jeremy Bullock used to be a customer of mine, so I knew him quite well, and he was a good laugh. But yeah, I remember. I think it was after this film that I actually bought Timothy a Millennium Falcon. Yeah, it was enjoyable. It was entertaining. It was a good story. Yeah, lovely bits from everybody. I mean, Warwick Davis playing Wicket was brilliant. He was absolutely superb. Yeah, the short appearances by Alec Guinness were brilliant, and as always, he just brought something extra to it. I loved Chewbacca in this one. I really did enjoy Chewbacca in this one, particularly when he takes over the walker with the two what's his names Ewoks, and that is just brilliant. That is just a brilliant scene. Lando Calrissian was pretty good in this. Seeing him basically fighting. Now you know how he became Lord of the Sky City. And yeah, Ian McDiarmid as the Emperor, as Ethan says, it's just so creepy. So creepy. He played it absolutely brilliantly. And yeah, Darth Vader turning out to be his father. It's confirmed by the rest of the Jedi. The ex-dead Jedi, Obi-Wan and the little fella, Yoda. That for me was pretty extraordinary. But the one thing that you didn't expect at the end of the film was that he would save his son Luke. He would basically reject the dark side and reject the Emperor to preserve his son's life. And that was totally unexpected because it was completely different to everything else in the trilogy. And that was, for me, a very magical moment.
And he actually screams no like he does at the end of Revenge of the Sith, doesn't he? So the last thing as Darth Vader is he says no, and the first thing Darth Vader ever says is no. So the last thing and the first thing are the same, which, yes, I've only just realised that. Anyway, takeaways here, courtesy of Graham. Thank you, Graham. Share it around. Let's go to Kevin.
Well, it's been a while since I've been out there. Yeah, Star Wars. I almost wanted to say Last Jedi. Ha. Return of the Jedi. I saw it in 2016, 2015, probably some piece. I saw some pieces when I was a kid, but yeah, they would broadcast it very late in the evening, and I had to go to school the next morning, so I could never see it as a kid. So yeah. So I haven't even seen the unaltered version of this movie, but I saw all the CGI, shite on it. If with the dance, I was like, is it really necessary? For the rest, the story is very good. Darth Vader's awesome as always, and the Emperor. Yeah. I saw the version, of course, with the CGI, with the CGI Emperor and stuff. But I also saw a picture of the original Emperor with a double eye or something. I don't know what it was. And that looked cool. And Darth Vader returning to the light side at the end. That was very cool and emotional. The Ewoks, they are cute. I don't really hate them. Luke as Luke Skywalker is supposed to be is good as always. Leia, but the story with Han Harrison Ford didn't want to return in this one. Because he was like, I died in the 5th. Leave me alone, He probably received a lot of money to get in this one. And he died in 7, so spoiler alert. And I love this movie. So and Jabba the Hutt was also in it. This time, the real Finn, and not in the 5th one the CGI or the 4th one the CGI stuff. But we don't talk about that. That's my review for now.
Well, I was going to go to Stephen Price, but he's disappeared. But hopefully we will get back to him if he pops back on. Yes, Graham, you've unmuted. Oh, you've muted yourself.
No, I was just going to say he's disappeared into the ether. He's for Wales. It happens.
Yeah, that happens in Wales, doesn't it? Yeah.
Just ask something about this movie real quick.
What's it about? Right. Okay, Brian. Let's. Lee, do you want to explain it?
I was just gonna ask at the very at the very end when they were when they're celebrating and everything. Did they add footage?
Yes, there was footage added. I hate it because you can hear Jar Jar Binks as well, which really knocks the film down for me.
Because I wasn't sure if they added footage.
Jar Jar Binks,
different planets and everything. So
yeah, they added different footage at the end of cities celebrating and things like that.
And the other thing that I wanted to mention from Beef Dad's thing was that Jeremy Bullock, your old customer, he played Boba Fett in this. So yeah, I can see why you'd be so thrilled by that. Anyway,
am I not the only person? And I might be a bit of a... I don't know, I might be... the only person in this group that probably doesn't really like these films.
Oh.
And the reason why I don't like them is because when I was a kid, well, I've always been a Doctor Who fan for a start, and then I found Star Wars, and I thought, wow, this is so amazing, and it was so different to Doctor Who, and I absolutely loved Star Wars as a kid. And then my dad took me to watch the 3 prequels. And honestly, they destroyed any love that I once had for these films. And I can no longer watch these films the same way ever again. And all I got to say is Disney, you're a fool for bringing it back. Because guess what? It's a one-trick pony.
Did you forget?
One-trick pony.
Hey, Ella, did you forget Ethan?
No, he said he's back.
No, Ethan's been, yeah.
Can I just...
I've been, yeah, I've had my say.
Can I just pick you up on that one-trick pony comment?
Yeah.
They don't give a flying fud. I went because they've made their money.
Yeah, I know, but it is. I mean, it's
Language.
soon it'll be gone.
Yeah,
Soon
well,
Star
They'll
Wars
bring it
will
back
be
some other iteration.
okay. Well, here's the good side and the bad side. Is it full of melodrama? Yes. Does it have acting that isn't as good as it should be? Absolutely. Visually, though, it's a wonderful experience. So the thing is, even though it's a space opera, and unfortunately the original trilogy and the prequels were about fathers, let's say, they did try to improve it in the prequels. I just didn't like the way they did it.
Yeah, but Alex, I think you can cut a lot of this film out with the Ewoks.
Right.
The Ewoks don't need to be in it. A lot of the scenes don't need to be there.
Right, but unfortunately, I do agree with Harlan Ellison, even though he has passed on, that, yeah, technically and symbolically, except for a visual experience, Doctor Who Blake 7 is better. But that being said, they do have a lot of British actors in the original trilogy as well. In small parts.
In all of it.
Right, in small parts. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I do like the scenes with the Emperor. I love the Emperor, and Darth Vader, of course. But like I said, the Ewoks, I agree with Graham and Lee, and was it Ethan? I can't remember.
Hang on, let me just clarify. When I first viewed the movie, the Ewoks were fine. In the bygone days of yore. Beef Dad's got a point too, though. It's not always necessarily about getting older and becoming more fuddy-duddy and all the rest of it. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I've had one too many pints circling around about my liver system, and you know, I became a crotchety old git. But no, you know, I mean, yeah.
But yeah, for me, Star Wars has just been killed over the years. You got to remember, I've grown up with the prequels, and now these films in the cinemas.
I can understand. I can understand no liking movies, but you can't kill something that keeps coming back and makes money.
Yeah, you can.
Tell that to the movie studio who are laughing at you because
if it makes money, there are always sequels.
They're trying as hard as possible to kill it off. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get rid of it.
They're probably going to remake you.
Well, guess what? See if that happens. They're used to 10, 15-year breaks anyway.
Yeah, let's go to another franchise, you know.
I mean,
Lee, what did you want to say?
Wait, no, wait a minute. The Star Wars movies are still good to this day. The only ones who are bad were the prequels.
I didn't even think that was.
Except the third one. The third one was good.
No, it was.
Come on.
All right. I disagree with all of y'all. I liked them all. I've liked everything that Star Wars has done. I think they screwed up by not marketing toys for Han Solo before they released the movie.
Let's see what Ethan thinks, because Ethan's a big Star Wars fan, and he said these are real. This is real Star Wars. What did you say? What was the thing you said?
Yeah, I said that the original trilogy, that's the real Star Wars to me. You know, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, which is my favorite of the trilogy. Return of the Jedi is my second favorite of the trilogy, and it shouldn't be touched. I did like Force Awakens. I'm not going to lie. Okay,
there you go.
I did think Force Awakens was good. Last of the Jedi, totally different view on that. I'm not going to go there.
It's good, but they destroyed Luke's character.
Well,
and the whole horse thing, or what is it? Whatever they were.
Milky.
All right, we're not talking about it. We're talking about
things. Yes, the milking. Yes.
Yeah, milking that thing that's sitting there and drinking the milk. Him getting his lightsaber and chucking it.
I don't even think it was milk. I mean,
I don't want to know what it was, Brian. I mean, you know.
Well, the only other thing that is sort of regretful is they did such a build-up to Boba Fett. And not only that, but they forgot about the dinner in The Empire Strikes Back, where Boba Fett was also there. And then they kill him off in, 40 seconds? And
Oh, yeah, throw him into the creek.
Right, into the pit. Accidentally. So the thing is...
He's not dead.
Well, the thing is...
That's Meg, the family guy. He'll come back.
He's alive.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Alive, and that's that. He's
then
dead.
Then
Just
you
like
go.
Darth Maul.
Just let him finish.
But I remember when Boba Fett was first introduced. He was actually first introduced in the Star Wars Christmas special. We all remember that. Sadly, those who are old enough, we remember it.
In the cartoon, wasn't it?
It was a cartoon sequence. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was after the sequence where the Wookiee got some Nookie, and I was traumatized for life. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's when Grain started drinking.
The guy dressed up as an alien woman doing a alien cooking program, and I'm like, what's this going to do with Star Wars?
Yeah.
Chewbacca's family. You've got a music video that looks like something out of Jefferson.
Let's not get started on Wife Day. Oh.
So we're pretty much all agreed that these films are rubbish. I'm glad upon that. Let's try and find favorite moments.
No matter how many Star Wars movies today, past, present, or future, Attack of the Clones will always be the worst Star Wars movie.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. People booed at the end of that film in the cinema.
Yeah,
people booed.
Well, actually, with Attack of the Clones, the fight.
The TV show, Brian, the movie.
So they don't think I'm trying to talk over them.
Well, again, visually they changed the game. Visually they changed the game.
It was a flippant comment out.
They're very popular movies, and I'm sure that they're in the American Film Institute as well as other things. So they've made their effect known. It's just that we may not remember or like the characters. Like I don't like Anakin in the prequels and things like that. But it's still very popular. Otherwise, Disney wouldn't pay millions and billions of dollars for it.
No, but I was about to say that the Attack of the Clones movie at the end battle was cool and everything.
No.
Yes, it was.
You know what?
It was a CGI fest.
I'll give him that to a degree. Christopher Lee was probably the best thing about that fucking movie.
Let's go to Lee, because Lee's had his hand up for a while.
Yeah.
That's You can pull it back out now, Lee. Carry on.
Oh dear.
Okay. Anyway, like
No, wait. Lee wanted to speak.
Okay.
What I was going to say was, with Alec saying that the prequels and the sequels have totally ruined his love of the original Star Wars. Forget the prequels. Forget the sequels.
But I can't. I saw them at the cinema as a child. That is what I now remember.
So did I, but I don't let it get to me.
Just ignore them. Ignore them. Put them out of your mind. Just go straight forward, like I'm doing with Doctor Who. Carry on.
That was a good way to get that in.
I never saw them in the cinemas. I only saw the prequels on DVD and.
Yeah, but I do think this film is too long.
You're too long.
But I do think really not. They needed
long films.
They needed the multiple location, storytelling to make it happen.
Yeah.
And you needed to build each location into its own little scene, its own little story.
What with gummy bears in the woods?
It's not totally too long.
What with gummy bears in the woods? I don't think you needed that.
That's a step too far, mate. There was not one drop of gummy drank, all right?
And they will all scream, "Alert, alert, alert!"
Yeah.
I mean, they were sort of little monsters and little alien monsters. They weren't so cute and cuddly when they were smashing AT-ATs with logs and rolling down logs and tripping them up. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so we go on to favourite moments. Who wants to say their favourite moments? Who wants to go first? Anybody? Ethan?
Yep. Lee's already mentioned this. The whole of the whole scene the whole bit in Jabba's palace. I mean, I just not big on the CGI remastered thing. I've always loved the original when it was the puppets and just the animatronics. To me, that is the most realistic. That's CGI. You could look at it and go, it can either look fake or real. but with animatronics and puppets, they looked real. It just looked so realistic.
Yeah.
And the whole, like I said, Jabba the Hutt, I mean, the whole design for him, it was just mind-blowing at the time. When you first see that big thing, that big slug, we were all like, whoa. So all of that. I liked Alec Guinness coming back as Ben Kenobi and telling the story about Anakin. The fight at Endor, I mean, that's just, it is like New Hope, but there was obviously more ships. It's just a great big fight. You've got Endor, you've got the Battle of the Teddy Bears. I mean, the Ewoks on fighting all the 88 AT-AT walkers. And then you've got Luke and Darth Vader duking it out on the Death Star. It was a great big fight. We'd never seen a fight on that magnitude. That one. Darth Vader defeating the Emperor, one of my favorite villain deaths. I mean, as Alan said, not a lot of people realize it. He goes, no, grabs him, chucks him in, boom, just blows up. And like I said, I love the original ending where it's Sebastian Shaw, who was a great actor, a brilliant actor, appears as Anakin. To me, that is the face of Anakin. You've got three people as Darth Vader. You've got James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader, David Prowse, who's the body of Darth Vader. Sebastian Shaw, that's Anakin to me. That's Anakin Skywalker. He just looks like a dad. And he was exactly what, as a kid, all the kids back then, we thought, that's how we thought he would look. You're just this lovely father figure, like long robe, smiling at Luke. I just don't like the one where they do the new Anakin, because he's not even looking at Luke. He's looking straight at the camera, which makes it odd and awkward and creepy. But I just love the original with Sebastian Shaw when he has that smile and he's just like saying, nods his head at Luke. Yeah. No one notices that. The new one doesn't do that. Sebastian Shaw just nods his head at Luke saying like, well done, son, you did it. Great ending. I mean, I just love the original ending. I can't stand the other one because you hear Jar Jar. That just ruins it for me. That just kills. As soon as you hear that voice, my ears bleed. But I think those are my favorite moments.
But can I just say the what you said about the difference between puppets and CGI is because puppets are actually there.
Yeah,
they're not real. They're not real. The puppets aren't. They're controlled, but they're actually physically there with the actor or actress. I remember CGI is not there. It's not. Bad CGI is just not believable because it's not there. And you can't believe it's there.
When I first saw Empire Strikes Back, when Yoda was there, I believed he was there because this amazing little green alien with a walking stick, great humor. I believed he was there.
But he was there in a way because he physically was on that set, being controlled by people.
When I saw the prequels, and he's all CGI. It just wasn't the same.
And he's jumping around. I mean, it's ridiculous.
He's bouncing around like a Dragon Ball Z character going, doom, 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 doom.
I mean, he's on acid.
Wait a minute. He wasn't CGI until Revenge of the Sith.
No, he was CGI.
He was CGI in the prequels.
No.
Actually, I think he's right. I don't think he was CGI in The Phantom Menace, but then onwards it was.
Oh, yeah. Good point, actually, yeah. But he didn't look right. The puppet was different. He didn't look...
Yeah, but just a shittier puppet. Yeah.
The old puppet looked... I thought he looked cute. I know that's weird saying about Yoda, but he did. He just had this unique look.
He looked a lot greyer, to be fair, in the prequel. I thought he was green. What the hell? Is he sick? Yeah.
That's actually the one thing I liked in Last of the Jedi. When they brought back Yoda... I thought, oh, hang on a minute, he looks like the Empire Strikes Back. And it was the old puppet from Empire Strikes Back. I thought, finally, but it sort of got when he sends that lightning bolt down on that tree, destroys that tree. And I'm like, hang on, he's this powerful. Why doesn't he help the good guys?
Yeah, no, well, a lot of films have that problem, don't they? Graham, favourite moments?
Well, since Ethan's basically just described the whole movie,
you can go for it again if you want.
We mentioned the Hang on. We mentioned the cycle scene in the forest. With Luke and Leia. I thought that was excellently shot. Considering it was a front-on view type thing, especially when they got gone. The fight scene with Vader on the Death Star is obviously well documented. Who knew Carrie Fisher was that strong? She choked the hell out of that slog, man. Just saying, I guess, you know, being an intergalactic space horn makes you powerful. Go figure. But, yeah, the whole is Jabba dead debate, that's down to your interpretation. You know, if they want to bring him back, there's always a prequel movie they can churn out to cough some money at you. I believe they were going to until Solo tanked, but there you go. Now, I don't know, it's just a good movie, and I'd agree with most folks' points when it comes to the special editions. Keep, you know, heading criticism away for these movies, please. I'd rather watch, I don't know, a couple of pigs in a trough fighting an acorn than watch that guy pretend to act. Just saying. In fact, I'll go as far as to say Jar Jar Binks was better than him in the prequels. Good night.
Lee, favourite moments?
Well, I've already said about the speeder race through the forest. I think that's brilliant. I've got a few favourite characters in Jabba's palace. I think Bib Fortuna is brilliant. Remember him? Jabba's aide. I think he's just wonderful. And Salacious Crumb, the little creature at the side of Jabba who's always laughing. That's just that's it. Yeah, Salacious Crumb. But yeah, it's just a well told thing. But the fight, as I say, the space fight is just brilliant. It's I can't really knock it because, as Alan said, the puppets work. It works, and for me, that is so hard work for all the people who are involved in making this. In I think was it Palmwood? It was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Palmwood. Yeah, that you see, the Brits do it best. You see, but,
true story.
Sure. Yeah, and they say the saber fight at the end. Every saber fight, you know, in Empire Strikes Back was brilliant, stuff like that. But yeah, forget the prequels, forget the sequels. This is, as Ethan said, the Star Wars. And if you think that way, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, really, you've got to look at it like Star Wars ended here.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is where this is why I call it a one-trick pony, because this is it. It's never going to be as good as this again. And Ethan said about The Force Awakens, yeah, but it's just kind of a reimagining. It's a reimagining of A New Hope. It's only taking elements from this trilogy into that.
If you want to be technical, they do that with them.
It can't do anything new. It can never be this good again. People like it because it recreates moments that they remember. It's nostalgia. But apart from that, it's nothing else. Beef Dad, favourite moments before you fall to sleep?
I loved the scene in Jabba's with the musicians and the singing group. I thought they were good. They were brilliant, and they were so weird. It was just great. The battle scene on Endor was just absolutely incredible. It was brilliantly choreographed and sorted out and directed. It was just absolutely excellent. And yeah, Lee's mentioned the space fight. I knew someone who was playing a pilot in that, John Altman. Although I don't think he's in the credits, but I know he played one of the pilots in that, and I did ask him about it, and he said, "Well, I didn't have much to do, but I really enjoyed what I did. So yeah, but always for me, it's the Battle of Endor. That one is just absolutely amazing. And of course, Princess Leia strangling Jabba with her chain. I loved that too. I thought that was absolutely superb. That was really good.
Do you know what? No one's mentioned R2D2 and C3PO yet, have they?
Okay. Just hold on. You've got other people to ask.
Well, you can go now, Susan.
There you go.
Favorite moments?
Okay, I really the thing that I really love about this, I love the bit where they are trying to sneak down to the planet, to the sanctuary moon. They are in the space, the stolen. First of all, I like it when Mon Mothma's there, and they're all the rebels are gathered in a really bright lit thing, because before this and after this, all the rebels show up in dark places. So here they are together, as a united force, and they have a bright lit, and then they sneak down to the planet surface and Han Solo and Chewbacca are flying the stolen shuttle. And so how do you go easy? How do you fly easy? I don't know, fly casual. I thought that was like one of the coolest lines and one of the most fun sort of thing with a lot of jeopardy. They could have been shot down right there. I mean, there was so much jeopardy in that moment. I just loved it. It's really tense, really fun. Still is tense to watch it to this day. I get like, oh my gosh, that little adrenaline rush from watching that bit all the time. And I enjoy the speeder bike chase and on Endor, but in terms of jeopardy, that one, because of Luke and Vader's connection, incipient connection, I was just like, that's the place. That's the place with the most jeopardy. Anyway, that's my favorite bit.
Okay. There's a lot of favorite bits. Unfortunately, some parts haven't aged as well as others. I understand most people's criticism of it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to, because in a way it's a space opera, in a way it's pop sci-fi. But they set up an interesting story.
What's your favorite part of that?
I mean, again, there's plenty of things. The Jabba the Hutt in Return of the Jedi is better than the CGI. The CGI, it doesn't look real. It doesn't have depth. You know what I mean? And I think that was the good thing about the original. It doesn't have to be the special edition. Yeah, did they have less creatures? But that was the point. Less is more sometimes. And if you don't have 10 billion creatures around, that's fine. It actually increases what you see on the screen. It makes it more important. So, yeah, I do like Star Wars in a way. Visually, it's wonderful. If you want something fast-paced that you don't have to put too much thought into, except for Yoda and Ben Kenobi, it's great. Is the acting top-notch? No, it isn't top-notch. But I do like it. I do like The Empire Strikes Back. It's just less is more, and when you don't have to dwell on everything or have too much things going on. I mean, when I first saw this in the theater, it looked great. It didn't need CGI. It looked great as it was, and it should be kept as it was. There's the fight. There's the Emperor, the evil psychiatrist, as I like to call him. The taunting. The Ewoks, no. Ewoks I don't like. The other thing that's weird is, why is C-3PO telling the story with sound effects? Like, what the heck? Or was that R2D2 doing the sound effects?
That's
I don't
a good
know,
question.
but it's very meta. That part's an in joke of an in joke, maybe.
Yeah, seriously.
So yeah, I mean, there's parts not to like the Luke Leia sister thing. That's a little weird, actually. And then the fact that Leia didn't have a lot to do actually in this movie. But it's a shame that unfortunately she got sick.
But she got to.
She's gone. She is in The Last Jedi. She is in the Force, right? She is in the Force Awakens. Yeah, yeah, I know. I do like the last 15 minutes of The Last Jedi, and they did sort of give Luke a proper send off, and I like that better than Han getting killed in The Force Awakens. So yeah, as far as the writing goes with the prequels and the sequels, yeah, I don't like it too much actually. I like the writing better in the original trilogy. But remember, this is before everybody had CGI. This is before everybody could do, 10,000 sci-fi movies and things like this. You also have to keep that in mind as well. And this was also before the internet as well. So you have to sort of have it in that context. But I mean, I do like the movie. I do like the original trilogy, and less is more. That's why it was great, because when they flew up into space, all those stars were beautiful and the planets were beautiful. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want to see 10,000 aliens. I don't care about that. I wanted to see, the planets. I wanted to see the lightsabers. Why couldn't they ever show us how the lightsaber was built? And all that's what I want to see.
I mean, you see enough aliens here, don't you, Alex?
Wow.
I mean, and Lee, once again, upstaged by his cat.
Have you got your green card now?
Upstaged by a cat again, Lee.
Yeah.
Let's go to Kevin, because he's looking a bit gloom.
What?
Favorite moments, Kevin? Back in the room, come on.
I'm still awake. The forest fight, the Obi-Wan moment when he tells him, he is your father, yeah, and the end battle with the Emperor and Luke and Darth Vader. Yeah, I love that. So yeah, and any part when Han is asking Leia, is he really your brother or are you? That's funny. And Chewbacca, that's so yeah. And the first act of the film, with Luke Skywalker, this having some people, but it looked great. So yeah. Those are my favorite moments.
Brian,
yeah.
Do you know what I'm going to ask you?
Favorite moments?
Yes. What's your favorite moments?
My favorite moments to this movie. Let's see. I think my first one would have to be the fight scene at the beginning, from when they're in the middle of rescuing Han, and the moment you first see Luke's new lightsaber, when you actually get to see when it's just about to pop out of R2D2's out of his forehead, then and then when it actually does, it gets into the battle scene. I think that is my favorite, my absolutely favorite scene in the movie, favorite scene in the movie, with the whole battle scene and everything. So I think that is probably my most favorite.
You like it when it pops up? Is basically what you're trying to tell us.
No. I mean the battle, the whole scene itself, the battle scene and everything.
Mm-hmm. You don't have any other favorite moments?
No.
No? Is that it? Just the beginning.
No. I have more. My second favorite. Why did you have to go there?
No, carry on. Are you distracted now? Have you got it on your mind?
Anyway, let's see if I could go on. My second favorite moment is the pit battle between
the pit battle. Yeah,
between the big creature and Luke.
that's
And,
towards the beginning as well.
huh?
That's at the beginning as well.
And let's see the chase scene in the forest. I think that was cool. And the battle scene at the end between Darth Vader and Luke. I think that is like one of my favorites. So and my one of probably most absolutely favorite scenes is when Darth Vader becomes good again, and
You mean that bit when he's lying dying?
and kills the Emperor and sacrifices himself to save his son.
Yeah, that's my favorite moment as well. When he sacrifices himself, because he's the big evil, isn't he? And it's him turning good, and because the Emperor is going to kill Luke, and then it cuts to Darth Vader and back to Luke, and then to the Emperor, and then it keeps on cutting back, and then Darth Vader is looking at the two of them and decides who he wants to be at that moment, and he wants to become good and do the right thing.
Yeah.
And I like that.
You can almost hear James Earl Jones, Yeah.
I also like the Jabba the Hutt scenes at the beginning as well. They're good, and the bike chase, of course, which is iconic. I mean, there's been so many games that have replicated that bike scene. I think like every Star Wars game has had that bike scene in. So
I just thought of one more.
Yep.
The the scene from where the scene between Luke and Darth Vader, like when they're in the hallway talking about like how.
Oh, when he hands himself over, when he goes, yes.
Yeah.
When Luke goes to him, yeah.
I think that's a good scene as well. So.
Well, let's be honest. He's not exactly visiting dear old dad for Friday night dinner. I mean, Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, has anybody else got anything to say about this movie? Otherwise, we're going to go into final say and scores.
Well done, John Williams, for another great musical score.
Yep. Right. Let's go to final say and score. Graham, why don't you kick us off? Final say and score.
Final score. As I say, somehow it doesn't age well, but it's not a great end to this trilogy. I'll be an 8.5 out of 10.
Let's go to Alex and Susan.
I'll give this a 10 lightsabers out of 10. I love all of these.
And Alex, we don't need a minute by minute breakdown of the film. Just give us a score.
Well, like I said, I really liked it when it first came out when I was 12. Back then, I probably would have given it a 10 the minute I saw it. Now, I'd probably give it an 8.
Oh, no, still a good score. Let's go to Kevin. Yes. Looked a bit surprised then. Did you forget we were here?
Yeah. No, it's a great movie. Not the best. That's still Empire Strikes Back. Hey, thanks. So, I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10.
Look at these lot comparing DVDs. Lee, you might as well give us your score since you're showing yours off. What are you going to give it out of 10, Lee?
I am going to give it 9 rankers out of 10.
And he did say rankers, people. He did say rankers. Yes, Graham, rankers. Let's go to Beef Dad.
As I said before, it's a brilliant story, brilliantly told. And the magic of the Ewoks really did it for me. Yeah, I'll give it a 9.
A 9. Let's go to Ethan.
Yeah. Loved it then, loved it now. My favourite Star Wars film will always be The Empire Strikes Back. But for this one, I'm going to give it a 9.5 lightsabers.
Brian? What are you going to give it a 10, Brian?
Me, I think I'm going to give this Star Wars movie, whether it be the theatrical or the special edition, it doesn't really matter to me. I think I'm going to give this movie mostly a 10 out of 10, considering it's my favorite Star Wars movie within the original trilogy.
Oh, only mostly? It's either a 10 out of 10 or it's not. You can't go, well, it's mostly a 10 out of 10.
It's 10 out of 10.
Is it a 10 or is it a 9.5?
It's 10 out of 10.
Is it, Brian? Is it a 10?
The way he says it, Aled.
Or is it a 9.9?
It's 10 out of 10, all right? Give me a break. Get off my back.
Get cut.
I don't know really what to give this film, but I think I should judge it.
Mostly 10 out of 10, am I right?
Yeah, like Alex, the first time I saw this film as a kid, it's a 10. But over the years, having watched it several times over the years, it's not quite as good now, and it's not quite as enjoyable as when I watched it as a kid. And I do think the tampering that George Lucas has made with it by adding CGI stuff and extra bits and stuff like that has spoilt it a bit as well. But I'm still going to give it a 9 because I think it's a really important film and it's a really important trilogy. And this is the real Star Wars. And it is the real Star Wars. And if you want to watch Star Wars, watch this one. Don't watch any other one. Don't watch any others. Just watch these 3.
Oh, okay, wait. I disagree. I think you can watch all of them and enjoy all of them.
Yeah, but the money you'll be spending on counselling afterwards isn't worth it.
Well,
I'm not in counseling. Oh, wait a minute.
Never the prequels. Never go by the prequels except for Revenge of the Sith.
Okay. Well, again, people can watch what they want. We're only giving our opinions. We're not trying to tell them what to watch. Come on now, that's not exactly humble.
I tell them watch all of them.
Well, they can if they want to. But
I was going to give Susan some brownie points then because she actually muted Alex for a moment.
Oh, now. Hey, easy now, easy. You're telling people what to watch. Easy now.
Everybody just save the trouble and watch the...
Can you do it like every time we go to him, Susan? I'm only joking.
Watch the original trilogy. That's all that matters. The prequels suck except for Revenge of the Sith. That's all it is.
That sucks.
Oh,
the last 20 minutes was passable.
That sucks. It sucks. End of. This is the end of Star Wars.
Well, in your view, let's just clarify that.
No.
That one bad either. The Force Awakens and Last Jedi were good too. So, and Rogue One.
Is he still
just like all of them?
I enjoyed Rogue One. Anyway, move on.
Yeah, I quite like Rogue One, I have to admit. That's it. I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me, and that includes Brian this time.
And a galaxy far, far away. Yeah.
I'd like to thank you for watching. Tell us below what you thought of Star Wars, The Return of the Jedi, or any other Star Wars film even The Last Jedi, if you want to discuss that. Remember to hit that subscribe button. Look after yourself. Take care. We will see you next time.